Welcome to It's All Fine and Dangy, where we talk about community, health, culture, and all of the big and little things that make life good. Here are your hosts, Dan and Angie.
All right. Oh, the music turned off in my ears and in my head.
It is Tuesday night. I said
it is.
Last week I said it is Thursday night.
Tuesday? I don't even know the date. Oh, there. It's right in front of me. July 21st. Welcome, guys. Hope everybody is doing well. Having a great start to your week. Hope it's not too busy.
I am on vacation this week. I say vacation, staycation, what everybody's doing now with the virus and everything. And so we've been working on the house. So it hasn't really been like, chilling vacation.
It's been fun. We have been busy, but not too busy to come on Facebook Live for episode 71 of the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast.
That's right.
And we have a reoccurring guest tonight.
It's our first reoccurring guest, I think.
Yes, well.
The first repeat guest.
Yeah, so now we have the full duo.
Full experience.
Yes, the full experience. We get to have the Kitchen Killaz on tonight to chit-chat with Billy Floyd and the Commodore.
That's right.
That is the touring acoustic duo that wants to crash your kitchen. So we're going to chat with them and welcome them in.
Yeah, let's bring them on. We got them on standby on Skype right now, so let's bring them on. And there they are.
There they are, dancing to that music in their own brains,
already.
Just like I do.
Yeah, it's right there. I hear it. It's never going away.
It's always there. It never goes away, does it?
Exactly.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Man, I love how Dan and the Commodore have the red worked out.
I know.
They really
We're on
do.
the same side of the screen and everything. I love it.
So yeah, almost wore a black
That's
shirt.
fantastic.
We almost had that down pat.
We're doing the same position almost too, actually. And that's
You're leaning
we're
over
like choreographed.
What is going on here? That's not normal.
Which is
See?
weird, you, Dan and Billy have so much in common, and
I know.
And Angie and I have so much in common. Like, I think the shirts, you guys changed shirts.
Something's
shirts.
going on here.
And then we'll get started.
Dan
We'll
would
start
look
again.
Dan would look
in a few
lovely
minutes.
in this little shoulderless number.
I agree.
All right.
He's got very nice collarbones.
Thank you.
Very nice collarbones.
I've been working them
I
out.
agree.
So, guys, how have you been?
Working
We haven't seen you in person in a while. I mean, we've seen you on your Facebook Lives, but we haven't seen you in person. So, how are things going?
Yeah, I wanted to say that was what was that, February, when I got to visit your incredible
was it
studio and see all
February?
the upgrades and renovations. Was that February or January? Because
Yeah.
it felt like 3 years ago.
Doesn't it?
It really was a while ago. That is for sure. I want to say
For
it
sure.
was late January or early February.
Yeah, I think so. That was so we've been just like everybody else, we've been hunkering down, trying not to lose our freaking minds. But it really has, like, the time has given us, this experience has given us the time to do something similar to what you guys have been doing, which is like upgrading your equipment, working on the house, working on projects.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I spent this much time at the house. So it's like, and I always like to stay busy. The Commodore and I are very similar in that there's always a lot to do. There's always projects around the corner. There's always something to do. And this being my first house, you guys know what it's like, man. There's projects coming out of my freaking ears. There's not enough time in the day. So between that and us kind of like building up the home studio and continuing to write and kind of migrating everything from putting the main focus and our investment on our ability to tour quickly and set up quickly to now kind of moving everything home and making sure that we can use the best equipment and upgrade everything here. It's been really interesting because I don't think we would be to this level of our interior studio if we had stayed on the touring schedule that we were on.
That's
right now
awesome.
I think we're booked maybe 8 months in advance.
Oh, wow.
So we were
Wow.
playing Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays,
Yeah.
Saturdays, Sundays, but we were always on the road. So we were really rarely ever home. So it's given us an opportunity to really grow the studio personally.
Which is
That
kind
is
of fun to
great.
think about because we'd probably be flying around in cars going to kitchens by now because we like to upgrade. We like
Yeah.
to grow. We like always be moving forward, pushing. So it's so instead of flying around to all the different kitchens, we just sound better.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
been good. It's been we try to reschedule all the kitchens, keep in touch with all the chefs, work with all their recipes,
Yeah.
bring people in remotely when we can, interview a lot of people.
fun.
We've talked to a lot of people from different restaurants that we normally wouldn't really have been able to meet or work with because we were traveling growing locally, locally between Florida and, the surrounding states, if you will. But to be able to speak with people in Holland and Ireland and Japan and South Africa, which we normally wouldn't have done that. We've been able to kind of bring some really cool people into the show, because of technology.
Yes, technology.
Go Moore's Law.
So can we let's take a minute, because we know you guys from, we've gotten to know you guys from that time you were here, Billy, and the Commodore. I believe he was on safari in Africa or something at that time.
I think he was riding a Komodo.
That's right.
dragon.
You remember?
I do remember. But let's just kind of tell everybody what you guys do. You talk about touring the kitchens. You're called the Kitchen Killaz. We love what you guys do, and we're excited for you to crash our kitchen when the world goes back to normal. But or kill our kitchen, maybe
kill
I should say.
Kill our kitchen, yes.
Can you kind of just tell everybody
we'll
what
bring
you
it back
guys
to
do?
life.
Yes, indeed.
We can influence the metachlorian count in the souls of kitchens. So as we kill it, then we bring it back to life. We've been working on that too.
And this is where you would call me Sheldon, because I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, you guys lost.
So
See,
we're classified
we're both lost.
We're
Me and Commodore are both lost. We don't know.
That's okay.
I'm glad there's someone here.
Yeah. My name is Billy Floyd, and that is
the Commodore.
And we are the Kitchen Killaz from Orlando, Florida, classified as a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We do it every Friday, and we do it
for free.
That's right. So you can find us every Monday and Wednesday streaming at 7:05, and every Friday, normally, before the world ended, you could find us in residential and commercial kitchens all over the state of Florida, spending time with food and chefs and music, streaming live at 9:05 to about 10:30 on our Kitchen Killaz Facebook page. We play a combination of covers and originals. We take requests, and we feature the chef, we feature the ingredients, the food, and we try to encourage people to make the same thing at home. And the chef that we normally bring with us is the mad scientist, our good friend Dennis Cutter. Not every host wants to cook. Sometimes they just want to entertain. So in that case, the mad scientist from Maryland joins us. We theme everything for the night, including the schedule, the set list, the food. Any kind of dietary restrictions are, of course, accepted, an individual person count. And we don't charge anything for it. We ask for permission to accept donations, to sell merchandise. And the only cost that really falls onto the host is the cost of the food, because it's their party. We're just there to entertain the people and kill the kitchen.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
And every time you say that, I just want to go crash somebody's kitchen. I miss doing that every Friday night.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The human interaction, there's nothing like it. But I do want to say, this is one of the things that, so when we first met Billy, we first found out about you guys, I thought, Angie and I were talking about it, and I thought, this is the coolest concept ever. But you guys have a way, not just your music, which is great, and hopefully we're going to hear some of that live during the show tonight, but also you guys, there's a certain amount of sort of entertainment skill that entertainers have to be able to talk to the crowd. And sometimes you can hear great music, but if I used to be in bands, and if you don't interact well with the crowd, you can be great and it still doesn't really work. But not only do you guys do that well, but you do it to your live audience in a kitchen and to your live streaming audience on the phone at the same time. And you have certainly got it down to a science, because it's, we've gone back and watched some of your older videos now of you guys doing it, and it's a thrill to watch. I'm excited to see that live at some point.
I'm going to go ahead and not take credit for that. That all comes from this young gentleman sitting right here next to me, who's taught me a lot about doing that, exactly what you said. So he's been entertaining people for 20 plus years, and so he's been really good at that. And I've learned a lot along the way. The very first live video that we did, I did not want to go live.
I've been there, man.
This is scary. I don't want to do this. And if you go back and watch, because there's a lot of earlier day stuff that you can go back and watch. And just watch how little I said. Like, I wouldn't be saying all this right now.
Yeah. On
our very first live, it was all him. So that was a huge learning and growing experience for me. And it's been an awesome ride. I'm really glad that we've been able to do that.
The only thing that he used to say was, "I'm the Commodore."
That was it.
That was pretty much it.
It was scripted, right?
And then it got to the point where it was like, man, I really, because normally in a lot of theater, a lot of improv, a lot of music, a lot of performance, I've been doing this ever since I was a little kid, some type of stage performance, and you never want to let the ball drop. But I realized I'll keep the ball up by myself, and every now and then I would leave a little bit of an area for the Commodore to jump in, and he just wouldn't do it. So then during the live shows, I just would bail. I would be like, hey, guys, I got to go fix a flat tire. Here's the Commodore to teach you how to change out a carburetor in a 56 Chevy. I'll be right back. And I would just leave the camera and leave him by himself.
Trial by fire right there. Trial by fire.
Hi, guys.
But then he really started grasping a hold of it. And first he would try to like explain exactly what I said. And then one night he goes, I'm not going to talk about that at all. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? And I was like, yes, that was awesome. So it's all about keeping the ball in the air. And especially when you're dealing with two different audiences, because when you have the audience in the house, they have a completely different experience than the audience that's at home. So we need to make sure that we're attending and caring and paying special attention to each individual audience.
Yeah.
Sometimes we even pit them against each other in real time to make sure that like the experience is individual, but it is it's still a community and everybody has a good time. That's why when we do the votes at the end of the night, we always take a vote of what we're going to play for the very last song, either a cover or an original. The people that are live, they don't get to vote unless they log into the show and they vote in the chat.
Yes.
Because we want to visually see it, because it's easy for people to just yell cover and original. It's unfair because there's always a little bit of a delay.
Sure.
So it's like pop into the chat. Yep. You can only vote in the chat. You have to type cover or original. Sometimes they don't even do that. They just say Drift Slide Collide, which is not cover or original. Like let's
follow directions.
Yeah. You said something in there that what you're talking about, that aspect of the show has really grown the community that we have. That's really where it came from. Because he's really good at including people in the show. So if he sees somebody enter in the live feed, he'll say hi to them. And at first, I thought that was just something random, but people really appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Shelly.
Call them. Oh, Billy's talking to me. Like he knows that I'm here. He's thankful that I'm here.
Yeah.
And everyone that's on the show gets that.
Sure.
And I think that's a huge part of the community that we built.
I do too. There's also just a skill to it though, because
there definitely is.
When you said the Commodore, when you said about just kind of getting comfortable with live, I thought you meant when you first started playing out, because when I was in bands, there was that stage frighty thing that happened for the first 10 gigs. But you mean on the live streams? I gathered that as we talked a little more.
Yeah.
But even once you get comfortable with that, and once you are speaking to the crowd as they're coming in and they're talking and chatting, for me, even as we've been doing it, there is a skill in being able to say hi, not miss a beat on the conversation with your guest. You know what I mean? It's easily unwound because you start focusing on one over the other.
Well, I think we have been taking examples from you guys of how you do it and trying to apply it. It's really hard when you're on Skype, though, and you're trying to pay attention to the people that you're interviewing like this.
Right.
And then looking over and seeing the comments.
Because the worst thing you want to do is you don't want to be in an interview and start going,
Yeah.
And,
What did this
you're looking
person
at
say?
your computer or whatever, you're thinking.
Yeah, so we normally go in
reason
afterwards and make a bunch of, comment to everybody afterwards so that they know we were.
That was one of the reasons
attention.
that we really, when we first started doing this, we would stream directly from my iPhone, right from the Facebook application. So you could see people joining the live feed and you could see the live comments coming in real time.
Yeah.
So it would say, Dan Fox has joined. And what's up, Dan? How you doing? And then, oh, hey, Billy, what's going on? Hey, great to see you. So it was really nice to have that eye level. Everything was right there. The video was right there. Our framework was right there. So we could kind of play with the frame. And then all the comments, all the new people coming into the feed, everything was housed right in the same, 2.5 inches by 4 inches.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have to do this or look around or look at comments. Exactly. We got to keep everything right there.
And to this day, it's become a huge priority for us to keep those comments there and to be able to always see that feed and everything that's happening as we're talking without having to deviate. That's always been a huge priority for us.
Yeah, because we've played around with a lot of different solutions, high definition cameras and streaming through Twitch or streaming through OBS or Mixer.
Sure.
And my number one thing at the very top is we need to be able to see comments live. We need to be able to see real time comments coming in so we can interact. The one caveat that we have experience with StreamYard specifically is we can see the live comments. We can multi-stream, which is great. So we can see comments from YouTube and Facebook coming in at the same time, but we can't see when people actually join the show. So we don't get like Angie Sanders joined the show or Dan Fox joined the show.
I don't think we get that either.
That
we use Ecamm, and I see people popping up over here on the side when they comment. I see how many people are there. But I don't get the alert for. There may be a way to do that, but that would be nice because every time I join your stream, you'll say, "Hey Dan, what's up?" Just so that I go back to what the Commodore said. That's cool because you're like, oh, they know I'm here watching, and that's a neat thing.
Well, that's we kind of rely on the community that we built because when somebody pops in and we can't see that they popped in, somebody else will be like, hey, how you doing? Or hey,
they
hey
do that
Dan,
too. Yes.
welcome to the show. They do that, and we see that, and we're like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen and Shelly are on it with the links, with the how you doing, with the greeting people. It's like,
oh yeah, I remember when we first met you guys, and we'd pop in, and they'd say Dan and Angie from It's All Finding Angie. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I'm like, do they have shortcut buttons just ready for all this?
They
stuff?
just got like copy paste, baby, copy paste.
Yeah, and I would say this. And I was just thinking about this. I think a fantastic interview would also be with not even us, but with Jen Hogan and Shelley. They've done so much.
Yes.
I do too.
We wouldn't even be what we're doing right now, like to the level that we're able to do that. We wouldn't be here without those two young ladies. There's no way in the world, because we were already overwhelmed within months of doing this. When we first started it, here come all the invitations for kitchens. So it was like, okay, manage the organization for the kitchens, the time off, the travel, the gas. Let's manage the music, the recordings. Okay, the set list, the equipment, the lighting. And while you're doing that, you're still booking more and more shows, and we're rehearsing and we're practicing and we're writing. And it just got to the point where we were just like, it was so I don't want to say it got to the point where it was so stressful, but there was so much to manage that I was afraid Star Systems would start slipping through my fingers. So we really started leaning on the community.
We couldn't take on more stuff. We couldn't grow at that point.
We couldn't do it. We were already maxed out with our available time. So that's when Christina Johnson and Brian Wensloff originally got involved. And then Shelley joined the feed because she saw Brian shared on a board that she was a part of on Facebook. Then she started coming in and interacting on a nightly basis every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Shelley was there. And then Jen Hogan, she started watching the show. She saw it posted on another board. Then she started kind of taking an intrinsic responsibility and asking, what can we do to help? How can we help you? What can we do? And we would reply, what can you do to help? What do you think? What do you think you would love to do? Because we've always had kind of like a revolving door theory that when people come in to help you, appreciate it, but people don't stay forever. So we try to appreciate it and love them while they're here. And then if they have to go on, like Christina Johnson, Brian Wensloff, Christina Johnson's fabulous. She went right back into school just a couple months later, and she felt so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Are you mad at me? Are you guys okay? I'm so sorry. We're like, are you kidding? We love you to death. We're like, dude, you have a permanent seat and with us at any time for the rest of eternity, Christina. We love you to death.
I love that.
So it was it's been really interesting to meet so many people, and because of Shelley and Jen, and people like Terry McIver and Kyle Nunez, Hangin with Web Show, like all of these people in the circle of creative friends that we've been a part of, we've been able to help them on their show, and they help us on our show. Yeah. So there's kind of this really cool, huge community where we're all able to kind of share the likes and the notifications, and we support each other, and we go into each other's feeds, and we try to share their show and comment and like to try to help each other break through the noise. But because of Shelley and Jen specifically, when you guys brought them up, like, yes, you're right, they do have copy and paste. They had a notepad open with all of the notes, with all of the links. So all of our sponsors. So when we would say something, bam, they would put it right in the chat. If we mentioned Lakeland Barbecue, Shelley would drop the Lakeland Barbecue link right in there, because we weren't able to do it as we played and sang. We couldn't type in the link into the comments. So they've just always been there to be like, yo, we're on it. And Jen, she keeps us busy. Let me tell you.
She keeps you booked up.
That's a really good idea.
So how far? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just, the Commodore was saying that's a great idea about the interview, and some people would come. I cannot keep up with the comments. You guys have a lot of fans here, but somebody jumped in and said, I think it was Jose Alvaro that said, yeah, you guys should do an interview with them. I think that would be an amazing idea. I would definitely be tuning in for that.
I would be interested too, because I guarantee you there's things that we would learn as well. They have their own private chat. So like Jen and Shelley and like the crew, like the core that helps us with all of our advertising, social media, and marketing, they have their own private Facebook chat that we're not even a part of. Which is totally fine, because they talk and it's all about delegation of responsibility in regards to each individual show. Who's going to be around? What are we sharing to? Because in the original, I'd say, first year, we had a lot of people that were sharing to the same pages over and over again, and they didn't know it. So then the page admins were reaching out to us and they're like, yo, you're spamming our page with all this Kitchen Killaz stuff. And it was like, okay, now we have to divide and conquer. It's like, okay, we had a collection of maybe 5 or 6 people. It's like, okay, you focus on these pages, you focus on these pages. But we didn't really do any of that. Jen has been in the entertainment industry for decades. So she's most certainly a sounding board for me when we talk about the actual, I'd say, the ins and outs and the legality of moving forward in the entertainment industry with a product such as ours. because she's absolutely fantastic. And Shelly, she used to tour with big conventions all over the country. Yeah. She was really good at managing groups of people and managing people and speaking clearly and getting everybody kind of like hyped up and on the same page. And with those two rock stars that have our backs, man, so the only reason we've been able to do what we've been able to do to the level we've been able to do it is because of those two angels.
And then that brings up another point, like what he said earlier. And this was totally his idea based on his experience in the entertainment industry. You contribute to the level that you want to contribute to, and that goes for me too. Like so, and how that works out when you let someone do that, you're like, hey, how can I help? How can you help? Yeah. And then they decide how they can help, myself included, and then you get the best out of that person, like the best things that they can bring to the table, and it's something different for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. We don't delegate any responsibility to anybody on the team, including myself and the Commodore. Like people came in and they saw a need. And they had a desire. And they said, I see that you guys need some help with your marketing. I love marketing. Let me help you out. Okay, no problem. So there was never like a delegation of responsibility, because if somebody is going to do something that they want to do, they're going to do the absolute best at it. If you give them a list of things to do and you delegate responsibilities, they don't necessarily want to do it. They're going to do what they know how to do and get the job kind of done, but the passion may not be there, especially when you talk about longevity. Because in the beginning, it's new and it's exciting and everybody wants to get involved. But then we're coming up to our 3rd-year anniversary. I think August 14th is our 3rd-year anniversary show. Yeah, so that's 3 years of Crashing Kitchens every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday going live, and then just the product and the idea and the concept growing. Yeah. And there's been so many people that have been involved, and we've kind of had the same theory the entire time. Just allow people to you determine your own level of involvement. 100%.
Yeah, there it is.
I
found a way to squeeze spreadsheets in there somewhere because I love spreadsheets.
Several spreadsheets, and they're fantastic.
When you guys have an idea, he just pipes up, I'm going to create a spreadsheet.
So see, Commodore, we do have more in common than you think.
Dan loves spreadsheets.
I also found out that I like doing graphic work. I like messing with photos. I like creating cool things, colors and stuff like that.
I'm right there with you.
That I had a knack for that.
Yeah, Shelly was very similar. She created a what was it, the candy gnome? When she still lived in California, Shelly was part of the show, and she was watching the show, and she was helping us out so much. And there was a bit that I had gone on during one of our live feeds where I couldn't find this huge bag of candy I had gotten from this incredible candy factory. And I was pretty sure that somebody had moved my candy, and I was not okay with that. So I thought it was funny. So on camera, I'm just running around like a mad person looking for this candy, trying to figure out where it was. And it was comedy gold, but it was so real, and it was legit. Goodness. It was 100%. It wasn't for entertainment. It wasn't fabricated. I mean. Well, Shelly grabbed all those clips.
Well, that's what I mean. You guys on the fly are like, can do that. And you just reminded me of another one. I was watching one of your live feeds in a kitchen. Might have been your kitchen, because I think this might have been after the virus. And during this, I was literally cracking up on the couch. During your live feed, you're in between songs, you're talking, and some guy in the background walks by with no shirt on, opens the fridge, puts his arms up on the fridge doors, and is looking at food in there, oblivious to the fact that you're on. And Billy goes, and I'm paraphrasing, Billy's looking at the camera and he goes, so you just go to halfnakedguy.com to get more information to the guy. He still doesn't know. He still doesn't know. He's looking over like, what, me? It was hilarious. You'll have to tell us the story behind that.
Yeah, and it's we've had, and it's not the first time we've had somebody like jump on camera or try to get a little bit of starlight. It's not the first time we've had somebody do that. And the best way to do it is to involve them immediately, get them to be a part of the show, whether they know it or not. One of my favorite things to do, especially when we play live shows.
Oh, this is great.
Is I like to talk to people from the stage, and I'll sing about them, and normally they don't know about it, and their friends will hear something, so it'll be like just somebody walking around, like if you're wearing a blue shirt with long hair, I'll be like, there she is, rocking that long hair, so pretty, no idea we're talking about her, and people would just be like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
And listeners pointing out more details about
we
this
start
person.
talking
and then
about
we're
more
like,
details. She just kind of turned around and looked, but it's you I'm talking about.
And then they realize that everybody's looking at them, and Billy's singing directly to them, and it's kind of embarrassing and kind of humorous.
And kind
Yes.
of-
Oh man, we just try to break that wall. You know, we
I
try to
love
break
it.
through the we're up here playing, you're down there listening. Like we try to get past that immediately. So if we can put everybody on the same plane and we have that banter going back and forth, it involves people.
Yeah.
And normally the first time one person responds, everybody relaxes a little bit, and then
Yes.
they're happy to respond and they're happy to engage. Once you get past that first person, the first person's always a little tough because they never know if you're going to make fun of them.
Yeah.
They never know if you're going to call them out, if you're going to hurt their feelings, because people just don't know.
Yeah.
But once you realize we're just having a good time, like we're having fun and we're singing songs, and then people laugh and they kind of move past like, oh, these guys are just playing music.
Yeah.
You know, like now it's gone from music to comedy and entertainment and involvement and food and fun and a lot of improv, just making stuff up on the fly as it
Sure.
goes along to try to involve as many people as possible in one communal laugh, you know, one communal experience.
And Dan, you said you've
Love
been in
it.
a few bands, and I recently, not recently, I noticed this when we started playing live all the time. And you go and see other bands, and they're just up there, and they're like, all right, this song is Come Together, and then they play the song,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
song's over. Like, all right, we are this band, and my name's blah, blah, and this is the next song, and that's it.
You
Right.
lost my
That's the
interest
show.
already.
It's such a
That's
wasted
the thing.
opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a wasted
Yeah.
opportunity. If I wanted to hear that, I'd just buy the damn CD.
Of course.
You know, like I want to be entertained. I want to see a show. So instead of, hey, you know, we're the Kickstart Kickers, and this is called Rainbow Sun. Hey,
People want to see your
at the end of that, they're
personality.
like, thanks
That's
guys.
right.
This is we're the Kickstart Kickers,
Yeah.
and this one is called Bright Lights. And it's like, oh,
Yep.
oh. Great, wonderful, fantastic. I could do the same thing in my car and save my money and not, you know, have to brave parking lots or coke.
And that's
But
not
if they-
what moves you to the next level,
and get to
neither.
know your
because
personality while you're there.
Yeah.
going to the next level, that's what, you know, people are looking, talent scouts are looking for, that personality up there, you know, or that interaction, like you said, or something different,
Yeah.
not just announcing who you are and that's it.
Well, see, I'm a child of the
that
80s.
X factor.
And I will tell you that in the 80s and maybe in the 90s too, I love 90s rock, but in the 80s, there were plenty of bands that were really famous bands because of their interaction, because of the personality of the people in the bands. I think of bands like Motley Crue, who arguably their singer was more about, or Van Halen, David Lee Roth, the energy that they gave off. They
Yeah.
were surely talented, but the energy that they gave off and the way they talked to the crowd and the way they talked in interviews, and the Aerosmith is another one. It was just so much personality that you were like, I got to find out more about this band.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you. That is a key component in becoming an entertainer and not just another band.
Yeah.
You guys have it wrapped up for
and
sure.
There's a huge difference between being an entertainer and being just not just a musician, but being an entertainer
There
and a
is, though,
musician.
yeah.
You can be a fantastic musician. You can be the best guitarist in the world.
Sure.
You can be standing on stage and shredding things that people don't understand. But if you're not able to connect with them, if you're not able to connect with them and bring them onto the stage, metaphorically speaking, then there's always going to be that disconnect where they're going to turn around and go to the bar and get a drink, and that's it.
That's
They're
exactly
gone.
right.
You lost them.
That is
Yeah.
exactly
And it's
right.
it's so finite. The amount of time that you have to capture somebody's attention and how quick you can lose them is so incredibly fast.
Yes.
And a lot of times you can lose an entire crowd in a moment.
Sure.
And it's kind of crazy, which is why we try to keep the ball going. We try to keep everything up and running. We don't want any dead air unless it's planned and it's a part of an experience. But that dead air right there, as soon as you do it for 1 or 2 seconds, it feels like an eternity. You can lose thousands of people just a couple seconds
Yes.
if you don't stay right on top of it.
Of
So
course.
to have a cohesive band, a 4 and a 5 piece band, to keep the music going and the entertainment going and the interaction going, never skipping a beat, keeping the ball up. At the end of the show, it feels so successful to have a solid show, and it was a great show, and the energy was up, and we had fun, and everybody enjoyed it. You know, and sometimes it's rare, but every now and then you have those golden moments where you were like, that right there was a fantastic show. You know, and there's a lot of times that the Commodore have been able to do that. Now, granted, we're 2 guys, which is much easier to manage than 4 and 5 different guys. You know, like Dan, both of us have been in bands, you know, like 4 or 5 piece bands. The Commodore's been in bands as well. It's like a 4 or 5 piece marriage.
Yes.
You know, like everybody has to be cohesive with everybody else. But it's nice to be in this kind of project. And instead of traveling around with a huge trailer full of equipment, setting everything up, playing 45 minutes, hanging out for 6 or 7 hours at a venue, watching the other bands play, doing everything, breaking everything down, getting home at 2 or 3 in the morning, unloading the trailer, falling on the couch and sleeping.
Been there.
Like, we bring a couple guitars, we bring our phone with a little tiny microphone on top and a little bit of merchandise, baby, and we're done. We're acoustic, 100%.
That's great. Well, see, I'm a drummer, so I can tell you in the bands that I was in where, every man for himself, I was always the last one there. And you talk about the personalities. It's funny. Well, I'm going to digress for 1 second, but you guys are great friends, and that works out well. But bands can kind of go sideways because of all the juggling those personalities too. You said it's like it's like a 4 or 5 marriages, but it's I'm sure we can all relate. I was in bands that we sounded really well, but we got along like, it was like a dumpster fire if you just left us in a room together. So it didn't work for that same reason. So you can feel the energy with you guys too when you play, that it's and on when you're streaming as well.
And that energy has got you nominated for something recently.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So this is you too. You too, you crazy cats.
Oh, us or no, Dan. Under the author.
Well, Dan too. Sexiest guy in Orlando, right?
Oh, that's what it was.
I don't even know how I got on
I
that.
voted
I vote every day for you.
I didn't vote myself on that.
No,
I started creating new email accounts just to vote for you, Dan.
You guys are under for Best of Orlando. It's Best Kept Secret local color. Is that right? That's what you're under.
Yeah. It's it's an Orlando weekly best of, which is fantastic, and they're really great. And last year we were nominated as well, and we got to go to the best of party where they brought all of the nominations to downtown Orlando. They had 5 different venues that they had completely opened up to the entire party. So you get there, if you were nominated, you got a fast pass wristband where you can go to everywhere. They had caterers, they had food, they had live music, they had competitions. It was super, super cool to just be there and with some of the greatest and sweetest and coolest creators in the entire Central Florida area, just surrounded by creativity and inspiration. We met some really fantastic people there. We met a Black Trick Swayze. Which was Blackie Chan. These were his names. He gave himself these names.
Talk about personality.
Talk about personality. We actually had him come and do a guest chef spot, which was super cool. He came in on a Saturday, and we thought he was coming for
he's
a creative
chef?
meeting.
He was a chef?
He owns his own printing company. He does his own advertising and marketing. He's classically trained as a chef. He owns he was just incredible. And he was there that night. Yeah, he was there that night talking about his T-shirt company, his print press company. And Shelly wound up talking to him and said, not only does this guy own a T-shirt company, but he's also a chef. Maybe we can get him on to do a little segment. So I went and talked to him for a short period of time, but there were a lot of people there, and I didn't want to delve too far into that. So I said, hey, man, it'd be really great for you to join us one day for a production meeting. We can sit down and we can talk and figure out what we can do. So he calls me late on a Friday night. We had just gotten back from a show. Calls me late on a Friday night and said, hey, man, I just want to make sure we're ready to go tomorrow. I was like, yeah, we're great. We're super solid, man. He goes, how long's the show? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I got all my recipes. I'm ready to go. An hour show. Just give me the links and we're going to rock and roll. And I said, okay, cool. So there's a disconnect here. He thought he was coming over for the full hour-long show. And I didn't want to miss on an opportunity. I said, listen, let's do this. Bring one of the best dishes that you are going to make. Come on over. We'll go live on a Saturday. We can go live anyway, anytime, and we'll create a brand new segment. So then we kept booking chefs. So then he was the first one that came over. It was like, let's take advantage of this opportunity. Instead of being like, hey, man, let's cancel, or I don't want to do that, or just come over for a meeting. I'm like, bro, you're super stoked. You're really excited. You've already got a menu together. I don't want to waste any of this.
Let's do it.
Come on over and we'll go live and we'll make it happen. And he came over, and I think other than that, we've had 3 or 4 different chefs do that exact same thing. So what started as a complete misunderstanding became a brand new segment of the entire show, all based on a mistake. And he was fantastic. We met so many amazing people at the Orlando Weekly's Best of meeting. It was so cool. And we're super, super stoked to be nominated again. If we win, I don't think you can win Best Kept Secret 2 years in a row. I don't know if that's logically possible.
Especially if you're a city that's not Orlando.
Yeah, last year Sanford won. The city of Sanford won Best Kept Secret for the city of Orlando.
Nice.
What
kind of crap is that?
Well, 2 things I want to say. First off, do you know how, because I'm on it for my writing, but I don't know how I got on it. And technically, they put me in as Dan Fox, and so I write as Daniel Fox. I'm still thrilled to be nominated, but I was just really surprised. Like, I don't know how that even how do you make the spot? Is it from the staff?
Because you're awesome.
Well, thank you.
And you're sexy, and you have fantastic hair.
Well, now I do.
He has lots of hair right now.
But I really don't know how. I don't know how you get on it. I don't know how you get even nominated.
It's a filtering process in the very beginning. So they have open nominations where they open it up and anybody can be nominated. But then what they do is once you receive multiple nominations, you start to kind of tier up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So if only one person nominated Dan Fox, then Dan Fox would get one nomination in the hundreds of people that were nominated. But then if 2 people nominate Dan Fox, 3, 4, 5 people nominate Dan Fox, then you go into the upper echelon, which is then broken down into what you actually see on the website.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
when you see that on the website, that means you've received multiple nominations of repetitious Dan Fox going in.
And you made it to the top
and then
5 or 6
exactly.
or whatever.
They kind of bring it down to a manageable number. Mm-hmm. And if you see now, you can scroll for pages and pages and pages and pages on Orlando Weekly's Best Of because of all the nominations and all the places that are around here. It's just freaking crazy.
Yeah.
But to be nominated, not only is that cool, but when you make it to the voting aspect, if you make it to that, you made it to like the second and third tier of nominations for Best Of. So being up there is awesome, dude.
What that means basically is nobody likes calling you Daniel.
I guess not.
They much prefer saying Dan.
You know what's funny is when I was writing my first book, I went and looked and said, "Oh, there's another famous Dan Fox, and he writes fantasy novels, and I don't want to be confused with him, so I'll do Daniel." And then after my first book came out, I went, I should have checked for Daniel. There's one of those too. So I could have just been Dan Fox anyway. But one thing, what's a reoccurring sort of thing I get from the conversations with you guys? I recall other scenarios where something started going wrong and you guys pivot into an opportunity from it or some misunderstanding or something sideways. A great example is when you first came on our show, the Commodore couldn't make it and it was just like, no problem. And I remember Billy, and you can go hear that episode, but I remember Billy telling us that he was like, don't worry about it, man. I got this. And came and did the show and it was great. So there's a certain kind of energy you guys have where nothing stops it or nothing sort of kills the vibe, nothing ruins the plans. It just kind of becomes more plans, and I love that.
That's the game, man. That's
if one of us can make it, we're going to do it. And there's been a couple times where we've had like interviews set up or we've had something set up and maybe one of our schedules wasn't going to be conducive to allow both of us to do it. We're still going to do it. Like I would much rather take the opportunity. If I'm not able to make it, the Commodore can do it because it's not us individually. It's Kitchen Killaz as an entity.
Sure.
And we don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So we actually had the conversation this past week. We were part of a passion. Profit from your passion.
Profit from your passion.
It was
a good example.
It was a creative summit that our good friend Jillian Justice had put on, and we had it scheduled. It was ready to rock and roll. It was last Tuesday or Thursday?
Thursday. I asked for the day off, and they didn't give it to me. So I said, you know what? Actually, your idea.
Yeah, he was like, hey man, I didn't get Thursday off. Like, what can we do? And I said, all right, well let's see what's going on. Let's see what time you get out. Let's see what time we have to do it, et cetera, et cetera. I said because I'll be available that day, so I can just knock it out. It's no big deal. But I would much rather have both of us.
Sure.
And I was like, well, what time do you take your lunch? Maybe we can do it from your job if they'll allow us to do it. And he was like, that's a great idea. I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out tomorrow. I was like, sweet. So the next day he messaged me. He's like, we're good to go for Thursday. I got a room already set up. I got a room reserved. We have Wi-Fi. We're ready to rock and roll.
Nice.
I was like, okay, sweet, man.
We went live for the Profit for Your Passion Summit for Jillian Justice in a VIP room at Andretti Indoor Karting and Games.
That's
so
very
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, and on that Thursday, I sent the Commodore a list of hardware that we were going to need. So we pretty much had a mobile studio set up at Andretti. It was exactly very similar to what we have here. We had the microphones, we had the stands, we were input, we had the headphones, and it was just like we were 100% mobile. We got there, we set the entire studio up, we live streamed directly from there, played a couple songs. I think our feature was an hour. I think it was from 7 to 8 o'clock.
For an hour.
And then we even got the other artists involved in the same thing because I kept promising people that Jillian Justice owed everybody pizza. And that was like the big thing, like for being a part of it. She was going to hand deliver you a fresh slice of cheese pizza no matter where in the world you were. And one of the artists there that was part of the summit was from South Africa.
She was on right after us.
And she was on right after us.
Oh,
so as soon as she goes on, As soon as she starts, she goes, I'm just going to say this. Until I get my pizza from Jillian Justice, I'm not saying a word.
We lost it. We lost
She was like, I want my Jillian Justice pizza.
That is awesome.
Jillian, you got to head to South Africa. This is the end of the summit. Jillian's on the way to South Africa.
Is great.
And it was really cool because they all kind of jumped on it. We had a good time. We had fun. But it was one of those things where we found out on Tuesday that the Commodore wasn't going to be able to be free on Thursday. And by Thursday, we already had a remote solution in plan. Like we already knew what we were going to do. You know, by the way, we worked out our schedules and how we moved the equipment and the amount of time we had to set up. You know, we just went through everything. So I really do kind of fall on the idea that where there's a will, there's a way. And let me tell you, there's one hell of a will over here, and we will find a way.
Oh, that is awesome.
We're pretty used to doing stuff on the fly.
Yeah, well,
we're
so
pretty quick
speaking of
thinkers.
which,
We both come from the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
And we're go. Oh, this isn't working. Let's do this.
So yeah, we try to always make it seem like it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Like whatever happens, that was meant to happen.
Like you weren't frazzled by whatever happened before you jump on, right? Or before
exactly.
you do what you got to do.
That was meant to happen. We were planning for that to happen. We handled it just like it was planned to happen. And 9 times out of 10, we have no idea what's going on. We make it up as we go along. You know,
you'd be surprised how often we don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
But that makes life fun. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That spontaneity and not knowing. That's what makes it real and raw and organic. Yeah.
Keeps the energy
up. And
up.
it's very impressive that you have not missed a show since you have started doing the Facebook Lives, correct?
Nope. That's correct. We started, I think our first remote kitchen was August 11th. August 11th was our first remote kitchen where we went down to Port St. Lucie. It was the great Commodore's sister's kitchen. And before that, we had played the 2 Fridays before that, but we were Billy Floyd and the Commodore. We hadn't been dubbed the Kitchen Killaz. Like, we didn't give ourselves this name. Somebody else had said, I saw you kill it in the band room in the studio. Now you're killing it in the kitchen. You're like the Kitchen Killaz. And I was like, interesting. So when I Googled Kitchen Killaz with an ERS, don't do that. That was not a response that I wanted. So then we wound up going with the AZ, and it was available everywhere. All the social media platforms, the LLC, the .com, everything was available. So I was just like, buy, sign up. And then our first remote kitchen was August 11th. So since that first remote kitchen and the 2 previous Fridays before that, we haven't missed a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday since then.
Wow,
that
that's
was
impressive.
2017.
You guys are determined.
2017.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a lot of different kitchens, and every Friday when we were touring, it was kind of like what Angie was saying. You never knew what you were going to walk into.
Yeah.
You never know the energy of a house until you step through the front door.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't know what kind of people are going to be there, how many people are going to be there, or what time they started drinking. You just have no clue until you get there, and you kind of like have to feel the energy. The last remote kitchen we played in, Reese Peacock's, we changed the set list on the fly due to the energy that the crowd had in the house. Like, you could tell these people hadn't been out of their house in a really long time. So I was like, man, we have they're a raucous group tonight, man. Let's see what we can do here.
And you said energy a couple times. Like, we definitely are in tune with like the energy of the crowd. Like, we definitely read that. And that was a perfect example because I think we had like a couple of slow songs, like
just kind of chill, a little groovy, but kind of slow.
Do something else. I'm like, hell yeah,
let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, and let's put this, and this here, because you could tell it was the kind of crowd that was going to dance, drink, and sing along.
Oh,
back
nice.
to the
amazing.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, and not missing a show. I think what's even more impressive is that we never got tired. We haven't gotten tired of it at all. It's like we love doing it. We want to do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh man,
like,
it's awesome.
Not being able to visit kitchens and like go every Friday night, like it's killing us. Like, it's like it's what we do. Like
so relatable for us.
Yeah, so we can relate with that definitely because I love, chatting with people on Skype or whatever, but it is just
not the same.
Not that I've lost my enthusiasm for it because, I still want to interact with people, but there's just, I miss going to locations. I miss touring this place. I miss just people being in the studio. Like, I need it. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to go out and, have a huge group of people or anything. It's just meeting the variety of people and the stories and
energy
and the energy from the different people that we have met since we've began this podcast has been one of the best hobbies that we have done together.
Yeah.
I mean, we love to kayak and do outdoorsy stuff, but this has been like, we love it.
And that, you know what, part of it too, that it was sort of almost collateral that we didn't realize was going to happen. You know, our objective with our podcast was to help local artists, local businesses, local charities. And throughout the process, we started connecting people with each other, you know, just by saying, oh, we know some. And now you're making like almost like business network connections and helping people that way. Aside from just bringing attention to a cause or an artist or a business to kind of help drive up their traffic, but we've made friends along the way, and we've met some of the coolest people along the way. And I was telling Angie, you know, we were maybe 6 months into it. I didn't realize how cool it was going to be just to go meet people in person at their whatever they do for their art, whatever they do for their business, whatever they're doing for their local charity, and just see their passion and how much they really love doing it. And you guys are a great example of that, because you can tell it comes through in your music. It comes through every time you talk about what you do. You know, so it's definitely
refreshing. Yes.
It's refreshing, but it's also very visible. It's very
and contagious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and people will call you on your crap, man. Like you can tell, like the audience knows. You know, there's been a lot of times. The Great Commodore and I have known each other for a long time. I think 14 years now, and we used to bartend together. So it was like when you're rocking and rolling in a bar on the Friday night, and it's two bartenders, and you're surrounded by people. They feed off that energy. So if the two bartenders aren't getting along, or if they're not grooving with each other, they can feel that. They feel that energy, and you can little by little see people from the bar start to disperse, because the bartenders themselves, they're the ones that spark the fire. They're the ones with their energy and the interactions with their guests and the interactions with each other and the interactions with the rest of the staff. So we pretty much took that concept. We were able to apply it to this specific entity as well, understanding that people will call you on your crap if you're completely full of it, you know, which they should. And we encourage them to, you know, like, dude, let us know, let us know how you're feeling. Let us know how everything looks. And we've been really fortunate that we've surrounded ourselves not by yes people. We've surrounded ourselves by honest, truthful people that'll reach out and say, hey, this is what's going on. This needs some attention. This sounded really good. We need to work on this. And without that kind of balance, everybody, you know, people tend to get a big head. Everything's great. We don't need to evolve. We always need to evolve. If you're not growing, you're dying. Period.
Amen.
That's it.
Thank you. That's what we always talk about. If you're not growing or changing the way you're thinking or doing things, why are we even here? Yeah. Right? Doing the same thing over and over.
Exactly.
Why are we here?
Okay, so I have to jam in a couple questions real quick. But you guys, your song "Walking Man," it became the #1 indie music radio HWWS song this week, didn't it?
Walking Man. Walking Man took the top spot, man, which is incredibly humbling. That's really, really cool, you know, and to see and there's some fantastic artists on that top 10 list, like some really, really outstanding musicians. So everybody that was in the top 10, man, a huge congratulations to all of them. And to be at that #1 spot is we hit #2 a lot, which is still great. We're very grateful.
Of course.
But man, there's something special about that #1 spot.
Of course there is. So congratulations for that. Were you surprised?
A little bit, you know, there's always a little bit of like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to really put a lot of weight on stuff like that, just because, you know, like one of the things that I rarely do, I rarely go back and watch our shows. I rarely go back and watch interviews. Like when we're done, we're done. Like I've done some theater and I've done acting in movies before, and I've never seen any of those movies. Yeah. Like I don't go back and watch them. I just kind of look, I say, and a good friend of mine taught me this: when something bad happens to you, understand and learn from it for 3 days, and then let it go and try to move on. When something great happens to you, celebrate yourself for 3 days, and 3 days later, move on. Yeah, you know, and move on to the next one. Almost like you have to start all over again. You know, which is a pretty good concept to try to keep ourselves balanced
and hungry. I feel like it keeps you hungry too.
A lot of that came from
you want to be hungry.
Always being live. Like when we're live, every time we're not recording anything, we're not editing anything. So like everything you say, like it's done. Move on. Yeah. Like you got to keep going. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, I don't think
that also encourages us to make sure that what we say and what we do is ready to be consumed by a live audience. It's actually weird when we record something, because we naturally have this feeling that there is no second takes. There is no, oh my God, I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. And one of the disclaimers that we always give when we go to kitchens, and we make sure that it is very well known about 5 minutes before the show, we are live. There is no editing. There is no takebacks. And please understand that right now we are going to be promoting the host who owns the house. So it is your responsibility to manage his or her image. If you come on the camera and you're a jackass on the show, you're hurting him, because we can't take that back. We can't edit it out. So we try to appeal to all the different target audience. We usually wait until after 9:30 before we get a little crazy, but they're usually like the Looney Tunes that you can watch now as an adult that you would never understand what was going on as a little kid. But you watch it as an adult now and you're like, I can't believe they got away with this. This is incredible.
Yeah, we do that.
Well, anyway, congrats to you guys for being number one. And thank you. I think Jen pointed out, I said HWWS, but Hangin with the Web. They're friends of ours as well. But very cool that you guys made number one.
Yeah, you just say HWWS. People are like, wait, what's that stand for?
The crowd in this feed probably knows, but I appreciate that for those that may watch it after.
And they've been fantastic. They've been fantastic. Yeah. Garrett, Sage, Dina, Cosplay Michael, Steven picking up heavy things and putting them down. Like I've known Garrett for years from the convention world.
Yes.
So we were really, really fortunate. And talk about an ambitious man.
Oh, I know.
That man is ambitious.
Well, you know what's funny
it's incredible what they're as a team, what they're able to create. It's amazing.
So I met them from the author world way before we started our podcast. Even we were at a book signing, like a big book fair where I had a booth set up, and they had a booth set up, and I don't remember how, but a week later, Sage contacted me. So they are on it as far as their networking and their,
Well, they had the little booth set up, and you went and did a little interview. That was cool.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, they don't play around, man. They're really great. They have a fantastic team. To watch them work together behind the scenes is incredible. To watch them work together and talk about. Make it happen. They will make it happen. If they need to get duct tape and the Q-tips and bubble gum, they will make it happen.
Oh, well, we were part of the
CyberCon.
The CyberCon where they. I keep thinking, what's that word called? Jerry Lewis used to do like a telethon.
Telethon.
So it went on for like 3 days, but they were, when you have something that long on, streaming live, you are 100%. I'm telling you this as an IT guy, going to have some technical issues, and they just pivoted. Back to that again. They just pivoted and made it work.
They did amazing.
But when I was a brand new author and we were at that book signing, I saw them walking around with cameras and microphones. I mean, they've interviewing other authors. They promote other artists. It's amazing. They deserve all the success they get.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they work really, really hard, and they'll straight up tell you, like Garrett's very humble. Garrett will be like, we bring nothing to the audience. We work with all the skilled people. They bring everything to the audience. Right. We just give them a platform and a venue to be able to share it with everybody.
Sure.
But they do so much more than that. Like these guys are working tirelessly every single week, always evolving, new ideas. I mean, just that Hangin with Web Show Indie Radio Hour.
Yeah.
Just the bringing. Now they have a 24-hour streaming website where they have music from all over the world that's playing 24/7 because Garrett got an idea. He was like, you know what? We should have a music website. And Sage was like, oh, God. That goes 24/7. But the next thing you know, within a week, they had it up and running. Within just a couple of days, they were like, let's do this. Let's make it happen. Wow. So they work with artists all over the world, which is incredible. So, to bring it full circle, to be in an echelon of musicians all over the world, to even be a part of that is a blessing. But to be in that top spot, to have that number one spot on something like that, when you're working with just incredibly skilled and gifted musicians and creators from all over the world, it's almost a little surreal. It's hard to truly understand and to appreciate it until you take a step back. The forest from the trees is tough sometimes, but taking a step back and really trying to appreciate it is really, really incredible. So huge shout out to everybody that voted, man. Thank you guys very much for because they did it. We didn't do it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the support and the votes, man. That was awesome to see.
Well, we are excited to hear you sing something tonight, but we're also going to hear you this weekend because you are going to join us for an event. A fundraising event. I don't want to say charity event. I want to say fundraising event for a little girl named Evangeline. Who is battling cancer, and Shabby Jo, who is a friend of mine from many, many years ago. We call her Shabby Jo because that's the business that she owns, finishing furniture. But her name is Jo Ellen, and she decided to kind of help this family out who's in need, and she put together she calls it the barn raiser for Evangeline. So that's what you guys are going to be joining us for this weekend on Saturday the 25th.
So excited to get out of the house.
Yes.
So excited. We're doing this. We're not doing this remotely, are we? We're actually going to
We're
the
going
venue.
to,
Going live.
yes, we're going to the barn raiser.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes, it's
And
an outside event.
it is
so.
an outside event, but so I was there. It is outside, but I was there with Joe Ellen last Friday helping out, and it was very, very hot. So I'm like, okay, well, we got the Kitchen Killaz coming on Saturday. We have a tent, but we got to have fans and stuff because, man, it is hot. And so I think there's an inside area with air conditioning that they're going to set you guys up in. So you will be
Sweet.
set up in the AC, guys, and entertaining the crowds with doing what you do. So we're excited for you guys to come out and help us to raise some funds for this family in need.
Indeed.
And so appreciative of, did I say that word right? I always say a word wrong.
What?
Appreciative?
Yeah, that works.
Appreciate-
Appreciative works.
Appreciative?
is a word.
Appreciative.
Yeah.
Did I say it
Yeah, yeah,
differently,
you're good.
though?
You said it like you're from
You said
Europe. That was
appreciative.
great.
Which is fine. You
Okay,
put the
I
wrong
added a
emphasis on the
syllable
wrong
or
syllable.
something. Okay, whatever.
You said it
I always
fancy.
do it.
That's all.
I always do it at least one time during the show. Some word that I just randomly don't know how to pronounce all of a sudden. But
Oh
anyway,
man, dude, we totally dig live shows, like live shows, and people ask us all the time. They're like, "Do you only play in kitchens?" And we're like, "No, man, we play everywhere. We'll play big
Yeah.
festivals. We played a downtown Orlando food and wine festival, which was outstanding, and there was thousands of people there, which was so much fun. We did a Smoke on the Water, which is one of the largest barbecue festivals in the Southeast nation.
You did Chalk Walk?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
Chalk Walk in Bartow.
Yeah.
Like I love lives. Like this is fun,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Crashing Kitchens is fun, and I don't take anything away from that.
Sure.
But I will say, hanging on a live stage, playing to
Yeah.
a live audience with microphones and big speakers, oh, we're gonna have a damn good time.
good, good, good.
Nice.
Well, we are excited to have you out there.
Yeah, we are.
And before you guys play us something, what's going on for the rest of the year? I mean, I know everything has kind of, slowed down a little bit as far as, being so social, but Jen keeps you busy. Is your whole year booked up? I mean, are you guys pretty jam-packed with things that you're doing? Like, what does the year look like for you?
Yeah, before this whole end of the world thing happened, we were already booked through November. So
Wow.
right now, what we've been doing is we've been rescheduling all the kitchens. We haven't been able to crash. We've just been rotating them, almost like deferring a loan payment. We've been rotating them to the end of the schedule. So now I think we're mostly into January and February of 2021 for our Friday nights. Now, granted, it's 6-7 months in advance, so we always try to reach out to all of our hosts because our good friend Tally Jimenez, she booked us probably 7 months ago. And then she wasn't able to hold it because everything went down, and she was just so heartbroken, and she was really looking forward to it. And we're like, hey man, we'll get to you as soon as possible. So, and I kind of think little by little, I think one of the things, and not to digress too much, but I think people are waiting to get back to normal, and we need to accept the fact that this is our new normal.
Yeah.
And if we accept the fact
while,
that this is our new normal, I think people will be able to get back to their normal, or as close to their normal routine as possible. The great Commodore and I went to Publix this past weekend, and Publix was packed. Everybody was 6 feet apart. They had their masks. Everybody was doing their thing. But if you maintain your social distancing, if you wear your masks, there's no reason that we can't get back to some state of normalcy where the only difference is the fact that we're wearing masks.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
okay. It's no big deal. Like super inexpensive. Just do it. Everybody will be fine, and
It matches my outfit.
we can get back to
just
some
have
level of
matching-
understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buy
Back to
the
it.
printed
Yeah, look
ones
sexy.
and make it fun, right? Make it a accessory.
Well, it's great
Oh,
to
yeah.
hear that you
So I
guys
think
are
that-
so
yeah.
booked up out, so far out. I'm not surprised. And then also, just to kind of tie it back to the event that's coming up this weekend, for those of you that may be interested in coming, that is also an event where people will be social distancing. We're encouraging people to wear masks. Everyone is very aware. So
Yeah.
if you're worried about your safety, come on out still and bring your mask. We'll have ours on.
And that's at the Old Red Barn of Geneva. That's where you guys are going to be playing. So how exciting
Switzerland.
is
I've never
that?
been there before. That's going to be fantastic.
It is in Geneva. So you're
I
going
hear
a
they have
long way
fantastic
from
cheese.
home.
That's right, man.
Geneva
Fantastic
cheese might be
cheese.
different, though.
It's a really cool place, though. So I'm excited for you guys to come and check it out. But
Indeed.
yeah, but what are you guys going to play for us tonight? Because I heard before I came in here, you were doing some sound checks, and it sounded amazing.
Uh-oh. Well, now the pressure's on. I like how she flipped it in there. She's like, before you guys play us a song, can you tell us about this? I'm like, I see what you did there, Angie.
And
that's why I did that.
That was pretty good. That was very smooth. Well done, Dan. She's smart. She's brilliant.
Oh, indeed.
Keeps you in line.
I keep saying indeed, but
Indeed. That's his word.
Yeah, indeed. It works. It's a confirming word that makes everybody understand with just a couple letters that everybody's on the up and up. We're on the same level of information and knowledge right now, and it's all shared with just one word.
I'm trying not to answer that whole thing with indeed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Indeed.
Oh, and Joellen just piped in for Joellen, who's running the event that we are doing, and she said she has hand sanitizer stations everywhere, and there's plenty of open outside air.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I did have to take my ass.
Shed the fear and get out.
I had to take
out
my
of your
ass
house.
off.
That's right. And she did say she can't wait to have you guys at the event also.
Yes.
So.
Oh, she's super excited. Yeah.
Nice. We're gonna have a good time, man. I'm really excited. Thank you guys for asking us to be a part of it.
Oh,
we love being parts of events like this. It's incredible to see how much help really can be provided by people sharing their passion with people. And this is such a great reason to go out and to gather a community under this type of umbrella of support and fundraising. And it's incredible to see a community come together. I love seeing people come together with a unified vision and give everything they can to truly help somebody out, because you never know when you're going to be the one on the hot seat. You just never know.
Oh, amen.
When it's if it's you, for you to see all these people come together has to be an emotional thing. So even to be part of it, and I know if I found myself in a situation like that, it would warm my heart to see the community come together to just try to help out. To see what we can do when we get together and we pool our resources, the amount of change and positive influence we can have is immeasurable. It's absolutely incredible. So thank you guys for having us to even be a part of it. It's super cool. And to get us the heck out of the house. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I'll play in a shed any day. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
And I love how you said that, because so this is a fundraising event, but imagine how the family feels just seeing the outpouring of people volunteering their time.
Yes.
And let me tell you a story about my friend Joellen. The Friday before the event, she got into a dirt bike accident and broke her arm, and was still there, got surgery Thursday of last week, and was there Friday setting up for this event. Now, you talk about somebody who is true to her word no matter what, and is really, passionate about helping this family. Literally, I have her with a picture with her arm in a sling with ice on it. She had surgery Thursday and was there Friday setting up. What kind of superwoman is that?
Yeah, it's dedication for sure.
That's dedication. Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's dedication and motivation. It's great to be surrounded by people like that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And it's one of the best parts about being surrounded by people that is that everybody inspires each other. Like everybody works with each other, they inspire each other, they motivate each other. So it's like this kind of like joint energy, this passion and energy, this positivity that just kind of emanates from everybody that are also coming from tough times. Everybody's going through tough times. Everybody's got stress. Everybody's got anxiety. Everybody's going through tough times right now. Every person is going through their own journey right now, but to be able to break away from that and get together and kind of leave all that aside. Trust me, your stress and anxiety will be waiting for you when you get home. But when we get everybody together like this and kind of like have that unified vision and have that unified goal to be able to support somebody and coming in under a banner of support is just super, super cool. And I'm excited to see the kind of energy that exists in this big barn, man. That's going to be super, super cool.
It really
is. You're going to have a great
time. And
the
cheese. I've never been to Switzerland. Yeah, I've never been to Switzerland. I'm excited.
So what song are you guys going to play for us tonight?
What are you thinking, Commodore? You want to play something groovy? You want to play something nice and easy? What do you want to do?
Well, they had mentioned a song earlier.
Oh, did they?
I figured we'd play that one.
Yeah, what did they mention?
I didn't want to pressure him, but I was hoping for that one.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, he did it. The one that got voted number 1 on the Hangin with Web show. Yeah, Walking Man.
Little Walking Man for you guys. We can do that. Man. Oh yeah. Walks alone down a dusty road, half in the shadow. The storm cloud raves and preaches, says I can do the most to make that walking man take off his walking coat. So boom braves that storm, blowing ripples across the pond, blowing leaves detached from bare trees, turning cypress to its knees. In the end, my friend, begin again. A man walks alone down a dusty road, I've been the shadow of sunlight, I've been the glow. The sun steps back a deep breath, while whistles for hair smoke to make that walking man take off his walking coat. So shines down that sun, coming ripples in the pond, growing leaves attached from their trees, turning cypress to its leaves. In the end, my friend, begin again. In the end, my friend, begin again. Oh no. So shines down that sun, coming ripples in the pond, growing leaves attached from their trees, turning cypress to its leaves. In the end, my friend, begin again. Oh no. The sun, he sits that storm down, says, listen here, my friend, to get that walking coat off of that walking man, you take a pinch of sunlight and you hold it in your hand, and you take a dash of true love, toss it in the sand. Now close your eyes and make a wish, blow it from your hand, match that piece of sunlight, crash into the land, where it lands on love and brings life, with a whistle of white smoke, you'll have a walking man, take all his walking coat. So boom braves that storm, coming ripples in the pond, growing leaves attached from bare trees, turning cypress to its knees. In the end, my friend, begin again. In the end, my friend, begin again. Oh no. So shines down that sun, coming ripples in the pond, growing leaves attached from bare trees, turning cypress to its knees. In the end, my friend, begin again. Oh no. Man walks alone down a dusty road, half in the shadow of sunlight and half in the glow.
Oh, that was amazing, guys.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much. That was
Very
awesome. Thanks. I have
nice.
no idea what that sounded like. I don't think we've ever actually played that at full volume through the
Oh,
microphones.
that was
but
great. And that gives you guys
Sounded
felt like-
amazing.
you guys
Yeah.
listening to the audio podcast or even the YouTube video, that gives you a sample of what you can hear this weekend at the event. So thank
That's
you guys so
right.
much for that.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Or eventually in your very own kitchen.
Yeah, eventually in your very own
I
kitchen.
like her. I like her. That's fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. And KitchenKillaz@gmail.com is the best way to get in touch with us. Reach out to us. Let us know. We'll get you some available Friday dates. And again, we don't charge anything for it at all. We just ask for the permission to sell merchandise and accept donations. If you want to cook, great. We love to feature people that want to feature something that they love to cook. But sometimes the host just wants to entertain. In that case, every now and then, when he is available, we have the illustrious mad scientist Dennis Cutter that travels all over the state with us and creates appetizers, entrees, desserts, and cocktails specifically designed for your tasty palate.
We can't wait. We can't wait to have
It
you guys
is
in our kitchen, too. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was good to see you guys again. You live right around the corner. We've got to get together when this madness is over.
You are neighbors now.
Really?
Literally neighbors.
I know. And we have a pool and puppies. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to
Puppies.
ask, how are it's
Luke
Luke
and
and
Leia.
Leia,
Yeah.
right? How are they adjusting
Well,
to the new home?
Let Let me grab Leia real quick and I'll show you because she's just super cute right now.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We have puppy fever. We're trying not to.
It's cute and yeah. Well, we'll be quick. We'll be quick. She's kind of cute and kind of like super like oh. She's got a little head on.
What happened?
She's like, Dad, why are you showing me on camera like this? I'm so embarrassed.
So Leia decided she was playing in the backyard one day, and we think she might have gotten into something that was a little irritating in her ear, and of course she just continued to scratch it like we do when things itch.
Yeah.
So the next thing I know, I brought her in yesterday, and they said, "Hey, we're going to have to give you an e-cone." I'm like, "An e-cone? Is that an electronic collar cone?" Like, and she was like, "No, it's pretty much just a plastic collar." And I was like, "Okay, wonderful."
Billy's like me. He's going, "Do I get an app?"
Yeah, I kind of look at this as like a futuristic wear. This is something that people will wear in like maybe 2050.
Sure.
Wait, they'll have neon lights going around the outside. They'll just look super, super cool.
Leia disagrees.
They adjusted really well to the new house. They really did. We have a fantastic backyard. It's a big fenced-in backyard. It's got a big playground out there for them to run around and chase lizards, and it's really nice. It's beautiful out back, and we go out back every day because it's just a beautiful backyard. So
love it.
We let them out and they dig it, man. It's a nice big house and it kind of has a circular flow to it, so they can just chase each other around in circles, which is why you should get 2 puppies and not 1 because they drive each other crazy instead of you.
We'll handle the 1 first, and then we'll see if another
we'll see how it goes
will be added to the mix. But we do. We have puppy fever bad. Great. Yeah, we have it really bad. So,
Angie literally has the plumber coming tomorrow to install the dog washing sink, and we don't have a dog yet in the laundry room.
I'm preparing though. I'm preparing.
Well, I mean, if you want to foster 2 crazy pups for a couple days, you let us know, man. You can get a good idea of what it's like.
She totally would.
I do.
Oh, I like Angie. She's like,
sign me up.
No,
Leia is a cuddler. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh my gosh. Man. I go and house sit for our friend Kim and Martin, and they have 9 dogs, 5 cats, 3 birds, chickens, lizards, turtles. Yeah, you name it, they have it. Boy. And I eat it up when I'm
really
there.
Do.
Puppies.
They do. They have the dogs are just they sleep with me, and it's wonderful. But I don't want that many. But it's nice to go get my fill, when I'm like over there. Yeah. Not that many.
I was about to say, I've been to your house. I'm not sure if 9 dogs would work.
No, it wouldn't work
sure.
out well.
But she's on like Dog Finder and Little Puppy Rescue and everything every day.
Got to find the right fit.
The time will come for sure.
But we are excited to.
They kind of pick you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, we think we're going to pick.
They kind of pick you.
Yeah, we think we're going to pick
before we
it,
had gotten them. We had looked around. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was we had looked around a couple different places, and then we had we went to the Polk County Animal Shelter, and we kind of hung out with some puppies, which was pretty cool. But they had something called like Puppy Fest that was coming up the following November.
Oh, yeah.
So no dogs under 6 months were they going to foster out. But at the time, my friend worked for Polk County Sheriff's Office. So her coworker was like, "Hey, did you go in your uniform?" And they were like, "No, why?" And they said, "Let's go in your uniform." So they went over there, and of course it was Polk County and Polk County. They said, "Yep, let's show you everything." And I was like, "No big deal." So I got a text message saying, "Hey, would you be able to swing by here on your lunch break to see this cute little puppy," which was a little brown puppy, which is Luke. Mm-hmm. So I get up there and I see Luke, which is about the size of my hand, and he was just such a cute little guy. And then I said, "Yeah, this is great. Let's go ahead and get Luke." And they both kind of looked at me, including the Polk County Animal Shelter representative. And I said, "Wait, what's going on here?" And they both looked in the back of the kennel to the left of him, and she was sitting in an empty water bowl in the very back corner. And I said, "Who is that?" And they went, "That's his sister." And I went, "Oh my God." Okay, they said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I guess we're getting 2 puppies."
That is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
but they've been fantastic, man. They've been absolutely incredible. They're the kind, like, we don't deserve them as human beings. Like, I feel sometimes that we don't deserve dogs. They're just so incredible. They're so loyal. They're so loving.
No matter what.
They always just want you to be happy. They're absolutely incredible. So Luke and Leia most certainly have been 2 incredible rocks for me over the past couple of years, and I wouldn't be where I am without these 2 little crackheads.
Oh, how awesome is
that?
What
a great way to end the show. Get me all puppy fevered up even more. We go.
You're welcome,
hunting.
Dan.
Oh no! Hey, look, I have it too. Honestly, I'm like, don't look, because I'll get one now.
Right,
I
good.
totally get it.
All right, guys. Well, you have a great night. And
well, thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, it was great
Big
to see
time.
you guys
And
again.
we'll see you in person, but 6 feet away on Saturday. Okay?
Yeah. Going to Switzerland, baby.
Yeah.
All
All right,
right.
guys. Have a good night. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, you guys have a good night.
You got to have a good night. Later, guys.
All right, bye. All right, and we are still live.
That was awesome.
That was great. Yeah, I think
that was good to see those guys.
And we'll put all the links in the show notes so you guys can find out more about Kitchen Killaz, but they are great. And
Yes.
It was really cool to see them again.
They
It'll
are.
be fun to see them this weekend, and you can join us this weekend to come see them as
Yes.
well. And lots of cool stuff out at the event. I don't know.
Yeah, so we're at the event is called the Barn Raiser for Evangeline.
Yeah, I'll throw that up
And,
here again for a minute.
Yeah, put that. Yeah, I'm telling Dan what slide to put up. So it's going to be at the Old Red Barn in Geneva, and that it's kind of like a an outdoor. It's like a flea market kind of, but they sell like antique stuff and some artsy stuff in there. So it's a really cool little shopping place that you can go shop. If you shop that weekend, 10% of the proceeds are going to Evangeline and her family. And it's Friday and Saturday. So Friday from 9 to 4, Saturday from 9 to 4. And then it's on the outside, kind of there's a shopping area on the outside, and that's kind of like a yard sale style.
Right.
So there's prices marked, but of course you can give more if you would like. Just whatever's in your heart.
Oh, nice.
You know? And then there is some awesome furniture that we are doing like a silent auction on.
Right.
So I'm going to show some pictures of hold on, let me mention a couple more things. Let me keep on track here. So we're going to be out there on Saturday from 9 to 4. Kitchen Killaz is going to be out there performing from 11 to 3.
Yep.
And then we're also going to have a food truck out there. And the food truck that's going to be there is called Somewhere Waffle. And it's like a chicken and waffle food truck.
Wow, I know I'm getting that.
Yes. So it's going to be really cool. So they're going to have 3 different options. They're just going to have the regular chicken and waffles. They're going to have a BLT chicken and waffle. And then like a pimento cheese chicken and waffle.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
It does sound delicious.
And they'll serve that with fries and either a water or a drink. And it's going to be like $8.50. And he is going to, the food truck owner is going to donate 20% of his proceeds towards the cause as well. So these are some amazing people coming together in the community to help this family. And Shabby Jo is the one that is putting the barn raiser on. So hosted at the Old Red Barn. So we are super excited. So we have some custom pieces and another interesting auction item that we're going to show.
That's one way to put it. Very interesting.
Joe Ellen knows what I'm talking about because I was making comments as I was taking pictures of it. But the first auction item that we have is a beautiful farmhouse table set. Now, these are custom-made pieces by Shabby Jo's. And we've had a custom piece done by her, and it's beautiful work. You're going to love it. So this is a 5-chair plus a bench farmhouse table set. Amazing. We've got a slide up right now that shows the dimensions, but for those on the podcast listening on Thursday, the table is 42 inches wide by 31 inches high and 83.5 inches long. So it's a big farmhouse table for a big family.
Yeah, and we'll put a link in the show notes, even if you're listening to this on just the audio version. I'll put a link in the show notes where you can see a picture of the event or the items that Angie's talking about now.
So these items can be bid on at Shabby Jo's Facebook page, at Shabby Jo's, and the current bid for this table is $400.
Yeah.
So we're hoping by Saturday the prices go up, and you know, it's what I'm telling you, this table's well worth over $1,500.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen more pictures of it.
Table.
And
it's
honestly,
amazing.
If it would fit in our kitchen, I'd be interested in us trying to bid for it as well.
Yes. But it's too large for our kitchen. But if you have a big kitchen and a big family, this is a perfect. So
it really is.
That is the first auction item. Auction item number 2 is matches the table. So it's the same color and kind of shabby chic look. And it is a shabby chic hutch. So you could put, knickknacks in there. You can make it a little wine cabinet, whatever you wanted. And the current bid on that is $225. Once again, this item is well worth probably close to $1,000.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
Solid wood and a custom finish on it. And we'll have all the information. All the information on this will be at Shabby Jo's Facebook page as well.
And again, on the podcast, the link that I'll put in there, I'll put a link to the actual item so you can jump over to it on Shabby Jo's site.
That'll be awesome. Number 3, auction item number 3. It scares me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But it's a gator hide, and people that do arts and crafts and stuff like that, this is someone like that. It's like a cured alligator hide, and it's done in black. And, you can make bags out of that, or wallets or shoes. I don't know. But it's a nice crafty, material.
Yes.
So it's a real gator hide, real gator. And that's item number 3. And the starting bid on that is $150.
Okay.
All right. And then the item number 4 is a really cool rolling outdoor bar cart. So this is custom made as well. And it is so cool. It's perfect for like your barbecue or in your house. You know what I mean? You can set like all your barbecue stuff on it. It's got little hooks on the side that are made for your utensils. It's just a beer opener on it.
Oh, it looks almost like a kitchen island for your patio.
It kind of is. Yeah, and it rolls. So, I mean, this is a beautiful piece as well.
Very cool.
And so the current bid on that is $350. So we have 4 items that are silent auction. The silent auction will be announced on Saturday at 3 p.m. So you have to get your bids in by 3 p.m.
By then.
Yeah, these are beautiful pieces, guys. And then also on Saturday, we're going to have, I think, Joellen told me there's like 28 gift baskets to buy raffle tickets for.
Oh, wow.
There's like a whole bunch of Barbie collection.
Oh, I saw
there's
the
a
Nerf
collection.
One. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm knocking drinks over here. There's a table. I mean, there's just so many
stuff.
that a local Geneva Blessings, a local place that Joellen works with. They donated all these items.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
$1 to get a raffle ticket to enter for these things.
Something
so give from your heart, buy 20 tickets, buy 40. You know what I mean? Because the money is going towards a good cause.
Yes.
So yes. That's what I wanted to say about that. I
That
look
is
forward
great.
to Saturday. I'm
It's going to be a
super
great
excited,
event.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're honored to be part of it, and we're excited to have the Kitchen Killaz as part of it. And we want to thank them again for joining us tonight. We're obviously big fans of what they're doing.
I love listening to them.
That wraps up the show. We ran long, but I think it was well worth it.
It really was. Yes, we did. And guys, thank you so much for listening to us, for tuning in tonight. And if you're listening to the podcast, please give us a rating, a review, and make sure you subscribe. Is that it?
That's it. And you can also call us if you'd like. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, you have an idea for the show, you know someone that would be a good guest on the show, you can call us at 407-490-3899, or you can email us at feedback@fineanddangy.com. That's DANJEE.com. And that's it.
All social media too. Fine and Dangy. That's where you can find us. And remember, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dangy.
Kitchen Killaz on to do that with us.
Oh, that was great.
All right, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Have a great night.